Hey guys, happy Sunday. Welcome back to Morning Coffee. Megan here with another video for you. Today we're talking about planning and planning for June. If you're a planner person like me and you like organization and productivity and time management and things like that, this is the perfect place for you to be. I would love for you to join the community by subscribing to this channel. I have a goal to start off our community really strong with 1,000 subscribers here in 2020. So please consider being one of them and joining us. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get planning. I'm coming at you from the dining room today. I don't know why, but I just felt like this space just felt like the right place to plan for June. I think it's because my patio door is right here and there's a ton of like light coming in. It's a super beautiful day here. And I've been super like motivated and inspired by the nice weather. I feel like the start of summer feels a bit like a fresh start for everybody, a brand new season, a chance to kind of start back over and move along, especially right now. As I talked about in another video, things are starting to open up here after the COVID-19 pandemic and quarantine. So, getting a fresh start from the dining room today. We got beautiful light. I got all of my planning tools ready to go. And so I'm going to kind of take you through the process of how I am planning for June. The start of June is literally right around the corner, as tomorrow is June 1st. I hope you find this video super helpful, inspirational, and motivating for you to kind of sit down, take some time for yourself, really intentionally plan out the things that are happening in your life in June and the things that you want to work on and focus on in June. When I am ready to start planning for a new month, the first thing I grab is my kind of monthly planner notebook. I've showed this a couple times in videos before, but essentially this is just a plain lined notebook that I'm using to lay out all of my tasks for the month, and then most importantly, take those tasks and assign them to a week for when I am going to get them done. So I'm going to start by flipping to May, which is the month that we just finished. I'm going to go through here, cross off anything that did get done this month, cross off anything that I've decided I just don't need to do or just don't need to do right now, and then decide if there's anything in here that didn't get done that needs to get done into June. So this is the spread that I have for May, and then I have a new spread for June. I've already started filling in some things. So that is step number one, is to kind of review the last month and carry over anything that's important for June. I do have a printable for the monthly spread laid out like this with the tasks, and then you divide them by week. It's old and outdated and it's not super cute, but I have it. I'm gonna link it below. The first page says February on it because that was the first time I shared it here on my channel, but the second page is blank, so you can grab that and use it. Pro tip, this month for June, I sent my newsletter subscribers a specially designed, updated, cuter, and much nicer laid out monthly planning spread. So if you want that, click the link below to subscribe to my newsletter. I will put the June printable in my next newsletter as well for any new subscribers. So my newsletter messages go out on Saturdays. So one just went out yesterday with that printable, but I will put it in my next week's newsletter in case there's any new subscribers to my email list. You can get that specially designed, cute June printable. As you can see, I plan in pencil. You just saw me erase a bunch of stuff. This is just a random tip that I have for planning. Flexibility is super important and giving yourself the room to adjust as needed. So I plan in pencil. Okay, so now I've taken everything from May that needs to transfer over into June. So that's sort of step one. These things are in here. The next step is that I'm going to pull out my calendar for the month of June and take a look at what is coming up. So I use my planner for this. So I am basically pulling out my June calendar and looking at my month as a whole. And here's the things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for special occasions that are happening, big meetings or work things that I need to keep in mind, as well as, personal appointments, dental appointments, that kind of thing. That's what I'm starting with in terms of what's going on in the whole month. I start with like occasions and meetings and stuff like that. Most often those occasions have to-dos assigned with them, right? Like in June, it's Father's Day. So that's a to-do for us to make sure that we are sending our cards, buying our gifts, making plans to celebrate. So that's why it's important to know all of those things down, because usually there's things to do associated with them. So I've taken those important dates, things that have to-dos associated with them, and I've written them in my spread, and I will show you the spread when I'm done. But I wrote those in marker just because those things aren't going to change. So our anniversary is this month. My dad's birthday is this month. I have a hair appointment this month. Thank God. I mean, seriously, this hair needs some help. Father's Day is this month, and then we may go to our cabin, so I put that in there with a question mark. So then the next thing I'm just going to look at is there anything that I should be aware of? Is there something that's going to happen in this month that's going to be super busy and I really need to prepare for? Right now, my life isn't that crazy, but for example, when I head into a super busy month for me, like September or October, when it's peak wedding season and work is essentially crazy, I just like to be aware and have a sense of that so that I can set my expectations for myself appropriately. In those months, I don't have as much time and energy to focus on big projects, or maybe I need to spend some extra time meal planning, maybe I need to order more HelloFresh, how can I help myself and set myself up to have a really great month? So after you put down kind of all the individual things that are going on, I just like to take a minute to look over the month as a whole and see if there's anything I need to be aware of so that I can prepare appropriately. So there really isn't that many things I need to be aware of, but I did notice one thing in here that I ended up adding to my list. So that was really helpful, kind of getting a better sense of the month. So now that I've got like occasions and stuff done, I need to revisit the things that I had been planning to work on for the quarter. So this is going to sound very nerdy, but essentially how I've made sure I'm accomplishing goals is that I set goals annually, and then I take each quarter one at a time. I don't plan them all out ahead of time, but every quarter I set goals for that block of 3 months. And so when I get ready to plan for a new month in that quarter, I go back to the plans that I had kind of laid out for myself for the quarter, and I revisit. I make sure that I'm making any changes that are necessary, crossing off things that are done, making sure I'm not forgetting about something that I did want to get done, and just generally checking in with the things that I wanted to get done. For this, I am currently using the Artist of Life workbook. This is by, YouTuber Lavender. I will link her channel below. She is, her motto is like Artist of Life and designing an intentional, beautiful life. And so this is essentially a goal planner. There are sheets in here for setting your annual goals, setting quarterly goals, setting monthly goals, and stuff like that. I do have a video where I walked through this in more detail. It was called 4 Tools to Change Your Life. And I will link that up in the card so that you can check out more information about this tool. But this is essentially where I'm going to be going next. I'm going to go into my Q2 pages and kind of update those, check off things that were done. And then I'm going to take anything that I still want to get done for the quarter, since June is the last month of the quarter, and put it into my June spread so I can plan to make that happen. I was actually pretty good on this. Most of the things that were here in my Q2 plan, I had already thought about for June. So that's really good. But this is a good exercise to kind of make sure you're not forgetting anything that you thought you wanted to work on. And I just want to say, I'll take a minute to say, it is okay to change your plans and to change your goals. It is totally fine to adjust them to suit your life. Your goals are to work for you. The things that you're working on in your life are for yourself to make your life better. And so don't feel like you have to change everything. That doesn't mean that you don't work hard on a goal that is difficult. That doesn't mean that you give up on a goal that is difficult. It means that you are constantly evaluating whether or not the goals that are in front of you are really the most impactful in your life. So now that I've done that, you don't have to do this, but because I'm here and they're all in here, I just want to revisit the goals that I set for the whole year to just kind of remind myself of my priorities and where I'm going. So that is the next step. I'm just going to take a few minutes to read through those. Okay, so I now basically have a full list of the things that are kind of going on and I'm working on in June. So now that I have this done, the next step, which is the most important step to this process, is taking these things and assigning them to a week in the month to get done. And the things that I am considering when I'm going through these things is, for example, one of the things on my list, one of the to-dos, is to buy new work shoes. I look at the month and I go, is that time sensitive? And the answer to that is actually yes. I want to have new work shoes before my first big event of the month, which is actually at the end of the month. So there is a time sensitive nature to that. I want to buy the shoes, have them in. I want to wear them a little bit before that first event. So because of that, I'm going to take the task of to buy work shoes and I'm going to put it somewhere in the beginning of the month so that they're here in time and ready. Other things I might consider when I'm assigning to a month or assigning a task to a week is there something really busy going on that week? Does that project take a long time? Is it really quick and easy? Is my husband going to be gone? So that might be a good time to get some bigger project stuff done. Those are the kinds of things I'm considering when attaching a to-do to a month in the week. So I have all of these things down here and assigned to a week. The last thing then that I put in here is my cleaning tasks. I've talked about this a couple times on the channel briefly, but I will link a blog post below to my cleaning schedule. But essentially, each week I have kind of like a rotation of cleaning tasks to do, and so I just jot those in here as well. They go at the bottom because they're not necessarily as important or as critical as what's in here. But I do like to keep track of them, so I put them in here as well. Okay, so this is now done. My plan for June is all set out and laid out. Let me take you inside it and just kind of show you how it looks. So here's an overview of what it looks like. It just has the date at the top, and then I have 6 categories here. To-dos, these are things that you can like check off quickly. Projects, these are things that take multiple actions over the month, so you can't just cross them off. You kind of have to make progress all week. This section is for projects that I'm working on in my house. This section is for people I want to connect with this month, occasions that are happening this month, and then my shopping list, things that I'm trying to buy. And then here at the bottom, you'll see the weeks. I put the occasions in marker, and then I have a fitness goal every week that I put a marker because it's the same each week and it's important. And then the tasks divided by the week. So that is what my June planning sheet looks like. So other than planning in this notebook and my planner, there's a few other things that I plan out each month. I use this planner to sketch out content and to-dos for morning coffee. So some sort of like content planning and content brainstorming is something that I do at the start of each month as well. And then I will go ahead and update the calendars in my home. I have a physical calendar here in the kitchen, and then I have a physical calendar in my office, which I update every month. So those are the other two, like, planning for the month tasks that get done is I spend some time planning for morning coffee, and then I spend some time updating the calendars in our house that we kind of use to communicate with each other and sort of have a visual representation of the things that we're working on. So those are also things that happen during sort of my monthly planning session. Well, there you go, guys. I am planned for June. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it fun to follow along with me. And I hope that you have a really great June planned for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back with another video on Wednesday and Sunday, all about organization, goal getting, productivity, and personal growth. So make sure you subscribe so you can check out my next video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you have a really, really great June. Thanks so much for watching.